Okay, so I thought I would try doing something a little different this time around because I seem to be enjoying video. I don't know whether video is enjoying me. Welcome to my living room. This is my living room. It's my living room. Welcome. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about, or I'm here to talk about drop rates. Pretty much every event, every new bit of content brought into the secret world brings up the discussion of drop rates. However, this event seems to have brought things to a head. It certainly has for me. I've noticed that a lot of people have become resigned to the fact they're not going to get the items they want. With some people just going, well, that's it, I can't be bothered with playing this event anymore, and going back to their daily sort of routine. Before I go any further, I want to make it absolutely clear, I don't know what the actual figures are behind the drop rates. The only people who know the actual figures, despite what you may read on the forums or in general chat in game, the only people who actually know are the people who work at Funcom, and they are sensibly keeping it to their chest, as I would, because the last thing I would want is people pestering me that I've done it wrong. Actually, that's what I'm about to do. So anyway, in order to understand why people are so upset at the new drop rates that are going on, we need to understand the old events, the old anniversary events in particular. So in previous events, we had the golems, and then we had the Tokyo golem added. And the drop rates weren't particularly brilliant, but we would get things like the pets, some clothing items, black bullion, which before the currency change was great for people who didn't do dungeons but wanted to upgrade their gear. It was brilliant. The pets weren't particularly easy to get, but they were still obtainable, and generally over a fortnight period, which is the anniversary event or most of the big events in the secret world, you could usually get the items that you wanted to get if you put enough hard work into it. This year things have gone a little differently. There is the new ranking system. You get a gold, silver or a bronze, or if you haven't participated enough, you get nothing. Let's be clear, the participation level is really, really low. You can just do like one rotation of stuff, and that's usually enough to get the participation level up. I haven't been drinking, honest. I probably should have been. So you get bronze, silver, gold. We don't know what the requirements are for each level, which to me sort of makes them a bit silly, because I seem to be getting gold most of the time. The only time I got a silver was when I spent time actually texting someone, and so I forgot to press some buttons. The only time I got a bronze was when I arrived really, really late and the golem was down to like its last few million. We don't know what the actual sort of requirements are at all, and I think knowing that and being a bit more transparent with that would have helped. To be honest, I don't think we need a ranking system at all. I think the system they've put in place is good, but I don't think we need the ranking system. So yes, the thing about the ranking system though is it appears to affect the type of items that you get, and in some cases the quantity. So for a bronze tier, for example, yesterday all I was getting was green signet bags, which didn't matter what tier I got green signet bags. When I got a bronze tier yesterday, I only got one green signet bag. For gold tiers, I got two. So obviously your chances of getting a pet if you only get bronze are much lower, and that's going to be a problem for people who are newer to the game, who maybe don't understand the mechanics quite as much as they should, and who don't know how to maybe change their builds as much as they should and are relying on pre-built decks. That's going to be a problem because they're not going to get the pets, or their chances of getting the pets are severely reduced. So thinking about it from a new player perspective, I'm not sure the bronze, silver, gold thing is the way to go. But moving away from that, they've also introduced the shards, which are rare drops for to encourage players to continue playing the old Golem event. The shards are needed in order to open up the Hate Keeper, as everybody has started calling it. You need all 10 little shards, and you summon the Hate Keeper, or the Gatekeeper, who then gets infected, which is great. The Hate Keeper fight itself is actually quite fun. Once you understand the mechanics, it's quite fun. The problem is the rewards. I did the Hate Keeper fight yesterday twice. I got two. I got a Signet reward bag, green Signet reward bag, 2, and I got 45 black bullion, I think it was, or 40. It was a ridiculously low amount because the golems actually give out more than that. So that's not great, particularly if you're trying to get hold of the pet or the Dapper Buzz outfit. And that's a key thing, because the outfit and the pet are the main things that people want. They want to be able to show off that they have been part of this anniversary, that they got it the first time round, that they got the pet. The pets are one of the big things that people love about the Secret World, and the clothing is the biggest thing. Apart from the main story and the atmosphere, it's the fact that you can wear clothing and you can change clothing without having to affect your stats like you do in so many other games. The way that the drop rates have been affected in the Hate Keeper fight, it seems to be nigh on impossible to get what you want. I'm not saying it should be easy and there should be, flowing freely like water from a tap. It should be rewarding, and green drop bags from a 10-15 minute Hate Keeper fight should not really be there. They did remove the flares in their defense, I suppose. Some people have gone as far as suggesting the actual chance of getting the pet from the Hate Keeper is 0.01%, which to me is, I think that's unbelievable. I don't think that's the actual percentage. But you can understand why people will come up with a number like that, because the pet seems to be so impossible and hard to get. I think the problem is that, unlike the golems that are roaming freely in the previous zones, in all the zones, the Hate Keeper requires shards and work to actually gather those shards. You can't just sit there and do nothing. You have to go and actively search for them. You have to be lucky enough to get the shards you need. You also need luck in getting into an instance that isn't full if you don't have the shards. You then also need what feels like a miracle to get any of the items that aren't just sort of cosmetic. Well, no, not cosmetic. That aren't sort of things like black bullion, Mr. Pandaria, no, mops as we call them, or sort of upgrade kits, which are great. It's nice to have sort of upgrade kits and supernatural whatchamajigs, but let's be honest, it's the clothing and things that we all go for. And yeah, it's the fact that it feels like the amount of work that is put into getting a Hate Keeper up and going isn't taken into account at all. There was so much excitement about creating this new instance, this new fight, and using these new assets and this new mechanics, that the actual sort of drop rate, the actual effort, if you use a shard, you should not, I don't want to say you should be guaranteed, but your drop rate should be boosted, because you have contributed more than like the players who just met up on you and sort of gone, isn't that great? With all the other golems, I felt like I had worked for them. With this one, I don't think I would. I would actually be embarrassed if I got the pet, because it is so rare There are people who've done so many more Hatekeepers than I have, and still don't have the pet. And I would feel embarrassed about showing that pet off, because it seems unfair to them that they've done more fights, they've contributed more in terms of the actual battles, and I'm left. Well, I would have a pet. I don't have the pet, just for record, but that I would have the pet and I'd be showing it off, and they'd be there sort of quietly seething in the background because they've done 10 times more battles and they've got diddly squat. Well, they don't have diddly squat, but they have considerably less, and they don't have that pet that they want. So yeah, I think this is an issue. I hope it's something that they sort of take the feedback on, because Funcom is generally good at looking at player feedback and seeing how players react to it. And I'm hoping it's something they take the feedback on, and when the event comes back around next year, I'm hoping they remember that people are not happy. I'm hoping they don't change the actual content of the Hatekeeper fight in terms of prizes and rewards, but that they maybe boost it a little, or decide to allow people who use a shard an increased chance of getting something shiny. So that was my video blog. Don't forget you can see all the latest news and stuff over at thesecretpodcast.co.uk. If you want to, you can follow my randomness on Twitter at I've changed it recently, at Klee_Sanctuary. That's KLE_Sanctuary. I'll figure out how to put little captiony things. Probably won't. And if you liked this, then let me know. If not, then let me know, so I know whether to just go back to writing. Maybe writing's my forte. Okay, well, thank you very much.